I'm going to make this short and simple. I want to thank God for the victory that I've received already, and I want to thank everybody involved in putting this massive event on.
Tyson Fury responded when asked if he had one last message for his opponent, Oleksandr Usyk, despite the fact that they will speak again at Friday's weigh-in and in the hours before they fight.
I want to thank Usyk for turning up and challenging me. And that's about it. Thank you to all the fans who travelled over to support me, because I know it's tough times at the moment and money's hard, so I aim to put on a show. Thank you very much. God bless.
I'll say a prayer for him before we go out, that we both get out the ring in one piece and go home to our families, because that's what it's about, he also said. Fury has retained an admirable sense of perspective in the days leading up to what is likely to prove his defining fight, but his human side and that perspective likely aren't what the many broadcasters invested in Fury-Usyk wanted to hear from him at Thursday's final press conference. The presence of some traveling fans had finally become apparent on Thursday evening at BLVD City, and while the natural showman in Fury appeared to promise an appearance when he first arrived at the top table, once he had taken his seat, he had appeared as ready as almost everyone else for Thursday to conclude.
I don't think about now Tyson. I don't know. Maybe easy, maybe not. We'll see.
For Fury and Usyk, the stakes are perhaps higher than they have ever been, and there is a professional obligation to attempt to preserve their energy. But there also exists a professional obligation from all of those around them to promote the most significant heavyweight fight for a quarter of a century. And whether it's the repeated postponements, the heat in Riyadh, the ill-advised timing the build-up events have been scheduled for, or the city's stifling tedium, it seems everyone involved, in honoring every request for an interview and photo opportunity, has little left to give. Fury refused to look at Usyk when they were instructed to face off at the conclusion of Thursday's press conference, but for most observers, that was as interesting as their latest encounter became. Lennox Lewis and Evander Holyfield, the last heavyweights to contest the undisputed title in 1999, have arrived in Riyadh to be present for the occasion, and 25 years after they fought at the historic Madison Square Garden, where once was staged the fight of the century, and then in Las Vegas, boxing scene would be interested to hear their true thoughts about a suitable venue they actually consider Riyadh to be. The reality, however, not least given the countless times everyone else involved in Saturday's promotion has spoken about how apparently glorious it is to be in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, is that they will likely lie through their teeth as much as almost everyone else. Show up, play the role, and depart richer. It's little wonder that those bankrolling Saturday's fight, which remains one to be relished, identified those involved in boxing as among the most viable assets in the sporting world.
Yeah, my wealth will be the same, maybe little more.
The only indication boxing scene has found that anyone local has an interest in boxing came from the neon lights of the Tacky Entertainment Center, at which the majority of the build-up to Saturday has been staged. In the nearby Mike Tyson Boxing Club, Tyson continues to prove he is another of the most bullyable assets. Teddy Atlas could be seen training a host of Saudi Arabian teenagers and children, girls among them. It was tempting to conclude that that may have been a demonstration of a wider improvement for women's rights in a country where, for all this fox glitz, reports persist about an oppressive culture. It was equally tempting to ask if that potential demonstration was undermined, given that it existed in the gym built in the image of a man once convicted of rape. When asked if he had any final words for his opponent, Oleksandr Usyk, Tyson Fury responded with a gesture of goodwill, expressing his desire for both of them to leave the ring unharmed and return to their families safely. This display of perspective showcases Fury's admirable outlook amidst the intense buildup to what could be the defining fight of his career. However, his sentiments may not have aligned with the expectations of broadcasters heavily invested in the Fury-Usyk matchup. Despite the presence of traveling fans at BLVD City on Thursday evening, Fury appeared more focused on the imminent conclusion of the press conference than on putting on a spectacle. While the stakes for Fury and Usyk are undoubtedly high, there is also a professional obligation to conserve energy. Yet, there is an equal obligation for those involved to promote what is arguably the most significant heavyweight fight in a quarter of a century. However, factors such as repeated postponements, the heat in Riyadh, poorly timed build-up events, or the monotonous atmosphere of the city seemed to have drained everyone involved, leaving little enthusiasm for additional interviews and photo opportunities. At the end of Thursday's press conference, Fury opted not to meet Usyk's gaze during their instructed face-off, a moment that held little intrigue for most observers. However, the significance of their interaction paled in comparison to the presence of boxing legends Lennox Lewis and Evander Holyfield, who arrived in Riyadh to witness the occasion. Their arrival marks 25 years since they battled it out in Madison Square Garden, the historic venue that once hosted the fight of the century, and later in Las Vegas. While boxing scene is curious to hear their opinions on Riyadh as a suitable venue, the reality is that their statements, like those of many others involved in Saturday's promotion, may be more about playing a role than expressing genuine sentiments. In a sport where appearances and financial gains often take precedence, it's not surprising that boxing personalities are considered among the most marketable assets. The only glimpse of local interest in boxing seems to emanate from the neon lights of the entertainment center where much of the build-up to Saturday's event has taken place. Within the confines of the Mike Tyson Boxing Club, another prominent figure in the sport, Teddy Atlas, was seen training Saudi Arabian teenagers and children, including girls. While this could be interpreted as a step forward for women's rights in a country often associated with an oppressive culture, it's also worth questioning whether this display is undermined by the fact that it occurs in a gym bearing the name of a man with a controversial past, including a conviction for rape. That's it for today. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. Turn on the bell for the latest notifications so that you never miss out on videos like this. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.